Welcome to this new peek at the future, and it's well overdue too. Today we're going to be looking at the new Empire-specific weapons on vehicles, and a couple of the new decals that have appeared as well. So first we have TR, we have the MR11 Gatekeeper. And it kind of looks like fractures for the top of your vehicle. From what I could tell, the Prowler and Harasser version just looked the same. And the overall design is quite TR, kind of what we've come to expect really. That is to say, quite inoffensive, but quite in that kind of mass-produced theme. And here you can see it in-game with a light camo. The side panels taking the camouflage a bit. Looks quite good on a Harasser, I'd say. But when it comes to using it, I'd say the damage is, well, currently, as it is on PTS, a bit uninspiring. You may respond, you know what, it's chewing through that lightning okay. And I'd say, yeah, you're right. But let's just have a look at what the NC and VS weapons look like. And, spoiler alert, they're a bit better. None of these vehicle weapons appear to have their finalized sounds, which I guess is normal for development. You can see the animation is kind of like cylinders firing on a car. The outside two barrels fire and then the inside barrels fire. There was actually a previous version of this on PTS where the barrels actually rotated and they were a bit more like the fractures. Seems kind of a shame to lose that, but yeah, it's kind of fine. But as you can see, long range, there's not that much drop off. So firing with accuracy over long range isn't going to be hugely difficult. This isn't like the Marauder where you've got to kick the barrel up. There's also an argument that these different Empire-specific weapons are meant for different things, which is okay, fair enough. But just in damage terms, what we're going to look at with the NC and VS weapons, it's just night and day different. So the damage is fine. The rear of a Sunderer certainly chews through that. You can also see a slight problem with the projectiles here on PTS. You'll see in a second that they're actually not firing, they're just staying in location once they're spawned. That kind of bug, I'm sure can get cleared up before it hits live. So here we are, looking at NC now, and we have the M96 Mjolnir. Mjolnir? I'm sure my Scandinavian friends will tell me if I've got that wrong, which I'm very much sure I have. That's the Mjolnir. I believe that's Thor's hammer, if I remember rightly. So, I know NC is meant to be sort of boxy in its design, but, like, that's a box, right? See, the TR one looked pretty good. The later VS one we're going to look at, kind of neat too. Do you know when you see cars driving along and they've got those boxes on the roof for like storage when you're going on holiday? It's kind of what that looks like. Okay, just forget the aesthetics for a second and drink in some of this damage. What you have is a 4-round grenade launcher for the NC. So it looks like a shotgun. Stop thinking shotgun. This is a 4-round grenade launcher, and you'll notice that the cone of fire blooms as you fire it. So this is meant for more short-range engagements. If you fire it over long range, you've got more drop-off and more bloom to deal with. The upside of that is that it will chew through things really, really easily. But if you let the cone of fire bloom, it becomes more and more inaccurate. Now, if you're firing a bunch of infantry over a long distance, maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want to pepper pot an area and try and get as many kills as possible. But here we are firing over long distance and you can see there's a fair bit of drop to that. And if you let that cone of fire bloom out, all of a sudden it's peppering quite a large area. So you could kind of think of this as a NC Marauder, if you want. But on the whole, I'd be way more happy with the amount of damage this is putting out. I would just take the time to say, remember this is PTS, all these values for damage and such are subject to change. So although that last TR weapon didn't look so great, maybe that'll get tweaked a bit before it hits live. I really hope so. So obviously this isn't an anti-air weapon, but if you do catch a galaxy hovering still, you're gonna get its attention when you fire. You really are. Obviously Valkyries have been changed a little bit now. Instead of being made out of wet cardboard, they're being made out of normal cardboard, so they're slightly more resilient. But as you can see, this will cheat through that as well. No problem at all. But last and absolutely not least, we have the VEX-4H. Aphelion? Is that right? Aphelion, maybe? Something like that. We have what is quite a cool looking weapon on top of the harasser now. Glowing bits, shiny bits, you know, things that VS love. And of course, being on PTS, the VS people testing it, look at that harasser now. Those lighting up tires are a upcoming feature as well. The way that that last NC weapon was a bit kind of, well, yeah, boxy. This one looks considerably more designed. And as it fires, those side, I want to say barrels, but sort of not really. They kind of move forward and backwards. I'm going to say actuators. Maybe that's right, maybe that's wrong. Those side actuators move forward and backwards, and there's a sort of nice design feeling about it. Certainly looks neat on top of a harasser, that's for sure. I would hope that the damage that this is currently putting out is maybe subject to change, because otherwise the TR and NC surely have something new to complain about. This thing is brutal. And it's also got a sort of side charge thing to it as well. I honestly couldn't quite figure out how it was working. There is no audio cue. There is no kind of drop off over distance or change in colour. But apparently there's like a build up of energy. I'll admit to not really understanding what it was doing. Some people were saying on PTS that it was every like 7th shot or something, or every 5th shot seemed to put up more damage. It seemed to be really tough to actually pick up what was happening. I couldn't work out if it was sort of firing faster towards the end of its shots, or I think maybe once it's got some more UI stuff in and some sound cues, you maybe figure out how that extra burst of damage is really working. But you're talking almost a full prowler with a magazine, so I'm guessing the damage is to be tuned. So that's like, what was that? Almost 80% of a Sunderer, one magazine? Yeah. We shall see. And let's just quickly have a look at some of the decals that have been added to PTS as well. This first one features a logo that it feels familiar somehow. I mean, where have I seen that before? Yeah, there's some fun new decals. You'll notice that in the depot, some of them have like a grey square around them. That grey square is not visible when it's applied. I think it's been added maybe just to show a bit of contrast so that you can see the sort of finer elements of the decal. There's a cool little party bus decal for the Sunderer there. Tell me that doesn't look cool. Little hat on top. Look at him. Dude's having a good day. I think we really need a party hat cosmetic for the Sunderer now to go with that. Don't you think, Radar? I think so too. Yeah, so some of these, like this Kraken Tangler, you can see it's got NC kind of colours. There are TR and VS versions of that as well in the depot. So thank you very much for watching this peek at the future. glad to be doing these again. Feels like it's been ages since I made one. As I'm sure you've seen on Reddit, there's lots of exciting things on the horizon for Planetside 2. Big new features, big new game-changing mechanics coming in. So hopefully I'll be able to do more of these videos in the future. So thank you very much again for watching. If you like the video, just leave me some feedback, leave me a comment, hit that thumbs up button, it's really appreciated. If you liked it a lot, why not hit subscribe? If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at LCTRGames. And I'll see you next time. Take care.